$50,000 a year, her salary had to feed a family of four, including one with special needs whose medical bills were continuous, and so she became great at budgeting. My mother managed to save half of what she made so that we had enough to travel and could afford the occasional splurge on extras such as Xboxes. I was the kind of kid who paid close attention to what the adults did with their money. I had some good examples in my grandparents who were entrepreneurs. My grandfather owned his own trucking company, and my grandmother is a realtor. And then there was my aunt. She lived such a fabulous life. Designer clothes, cars, handbags, and a beautiful home. Looking back, I realized that just because you appear to have things doesn't mean you aren't struggling. In suburban Georgia, where I grew up, it wasn't uncommon for athletic young men to get recruited by top colleges. They were on the path to enviable multi-million-dollar sports contracts. I used to wish that I was a boy, as ridiculous as that sounds, so that I could have the accessibility to making a lot of money. I didn't know how or when, but I never doubted that one day I would be wealthy. My brother was diagnosed early with cerebral palsy and ectodermal dysplasia. He's always been very nonchalant about his disability, very matter-of-fact. Diesel has this larger-than-life personality, and he just doesn't really let too many things bring him down. He's the most vocal person I know. His head is held high. He's optimistic. Growing up, I don't think I understood where he got his strength. But in my early 20s, I was able to surrender and to see the world through my brother's optimistic lens. Identifying with his point of view on life, I felt I could achieve everything and anything. I wanted to lean into life the way Diesel does. A light bulb went off. I want you to know that even in your darkest moments, you can find the light within. And beyond finances, you can also ask yourself, what is going to be the fire that lights me day to day? For me, it's 100% my twin brother. Because Diesel's optimism against the greatest odds touched off that light in me, I was the first member of my family to graduate from college. And the day I graduated from Kennesaw State University with a bachelor's degree in genetics and a minor in statistics in late December 2016, I hopped on a plane to New York to start anew. I was wide open to opportunities that weren't related to my genetics degree. We only have one life to live. Why not pursue something you really love? My first decision was to live with my grandparents in New Jersey. Being completely honest with you now, at the time I thought it was definitely not sexy to be an adult living with grandparents or parents. Today I say, if there's a family member you trust who you can live with, put your pride aside and use the safety net for a while to get ahead. I felt that New York, with all of its limitless possibilities and opportunities, was a great place to start. New York City people are wonderfully transparent. Personally, I like the honesty and directness. You don't have to question what people are thinking. I would tell recruiters that I wanted to make six figures, and they would say I was overly ambitious, that earning six figures was unlikely just starting out. But it wasn't unattainable. I learned later it wasn't ambitious enough. I don't believe in luck, but I do believe in being in alignment with events happening the way they should work out. After hardcore networking for 3 months in New York, I faced a ton of closed doors. It was exhausting emotionally. But just as I was about to break, a door opened, leading to Richard Rosenblatt, CEO of Rosenblatt Securities. I truly do believe that everything that happens, whether it's good or bad, happens exactly when we need it. And so, that being said, I didn't seek out the New York Stock Exchange. I didn't seek out a job in finance. I was just a recent grad who was open to anything. I landed a position with Rosenblatt as an equity trader. I loved the job, but to keep it, I had to pass the Series 19 exam, an in-house New York Stock Exchange exam that is notoriously brutal. This test was no joke. It was well known that out of 5 people taking the test, 4 would fail. I mean, all I did for a month was just study for this exam. I needed to prove to myself that I could do it. My mother had very transparent conversations.